Hello, welcome to Math Companion. Today we have a very interesting math question here. All right, before we start, please subscribe and click the notification button so that you get updated every time we post such super interesting questions. All right, now let's look at this question carefully. It looks complicated, but once you know the trick, then it becomes very easy. All right, now the trick is here. All we need to do at first, we just need to expand x minus 3 into bracket squared. So x minus 3, we square this, which is going to be x squared minus 6x plus 9. Okay, so you might wonder, how did I just do it so easily? In the past, we have learned about how to expand binomial, and one of the most popular one is a minus b squared, and we know it's simply equal to a squared minus 2ab plus b squared, right? Now, in this case, our x is a, and then our b is 3, and then you just need to do an expansion. Once you master all these formulas, then expanding the binomials, it becomes very easy and it saves time. Okay, now let's go to the question. We are going to rewrite the equation, replacing the second part in an expanded form. So it's going to be x squared x squared minus 6x into bracket squared minus 2. Okay, now instead of x minus 3 squared, we are going to write x squared minus 6x plus 9. Okay, and all this is equals to 81. Then if you look at what we have in the first bracket and what we have in the second bracket, there is some connection. We have x squared minus 6x, and in the second bracket we have x squared minus 6x. Now, to make things simpler for us, we are going to make a substitution, and in this case we are going to put m to be equals to x squared minus 6x. Then we want to replace back, instead of x squared minus 6x, we're going to replace it with m, and therefore in the first bracket we are going to have m squared minus 2 into brackets, instead of x squared minus 6x, we'll have m there, and then plus 9. It's equals to 81. Now let's open the brackets. 2 times negative 2 times m is going to be negative 2m, and then negative 2 multiplied by 9, it's going to be negative 9. And then over here we have m squared. All right, and all this is equals to sorry, not negative 9, it's going to be negative 2 times 9, it's actually 18, negative 18, which is equals to 81. Now we are going to reorganize this quadratic equation so that we have 0 at the end of the equation. So we are going to have m squared minus 2m minus 18 minus 81, it's equals to 0. So m squared minus 2m, so minus 18 minus 81 is equals to minus 99, which is equals to 0. Now our next step, we are going to make a consideration of this quadratic equation. So over here we have m squared minus 2m. I want to copy it again. Minus 99 is equals to 0. So we are going to look at the coefficient of m, which is negative 2. So negative 2, we are going to figure out what two numbers, when we add, we are going to get negative 2. But these numbers, they should be a factor of negative 99, such that when I multiply these two numbers, I'm going to get negative 99, which is a constant for this quadratic. So negative 99, the numbers are negative 11 and 9. And then obviously m squared can be split into m multiplied by m. Now trying to link this horizontally, m and negative 11, m and positive 9. Therefore, our factors for this quadratic are going to be m minus 11 and m plus 9 is equals to 0, and therefore m minus 11 will be equals to 0, which means m will be equals to 11. And then the other case is when we have m plus 9 is equals to 0, which means that the second solution for m is negative 9. This is the first solution. The first solution is 11, and then the second solution is negative 9. Okay. Now, having gotten the solution, we are going to make a substitution, because we all know that m was x squared minus 6. Therefore, we begin with the first one. All right, so instead of m, we are going to replace it with x squared minus 6x is equals to 11. Now, reorganizing this equation, we are going to have x squared minus 6x minus 11 is equals to 0. Now, clearly, when you look at this quadratic equation, we don't have the factors, and therefore we'll have to try another method. And for this case, I prefer the quadratic formula. So writing down the quadratic formula for the first and second solution of x, it's going to be minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac you divide by 2a. Now we want to establish what is a according to the quadratic. A is the coefficient of x squared, so a is 1. B is the coefficient of x, which is negative 6, so b is equals to negative 6. And then c is equals to negative 11. Now, replacing this back to the formula, we are going to have the first and the second solution of x will be equals to minus b, so which is 6, because negative of negative 6 is going to be 6, plus or minus the square root of b squared is 36, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is negative 11, and all these we are going to divide it by 2a, 2 times 1. Now, simplifying this further, the first and second solution for this, the first and second solution is going to be equal to 6 plus or minus the square root of, now let's look at this, 36 plus 44, because we know for sure negative 4 times 11 times negative 11 is going to be 44. So 36 plus 44 is going to be 80. Then you divide by 2a. 2a actually is 2 times 1, so it's just 2. And then the first and second solution, will be equals to 6 plus or minus 80 is just the same as 16 times 5. So the square root of 16 times the square root of 5. Then you divide by 2. So the first and second solution will be equals to 6 plus or minus the square root of 16 is 4, then the square root of 5, because you know the square root of 5 is an irrational number. So divide by 2, and therefore the first and second solution for x, dividing 2 for both sides, we are going to have 3 plus or minus 2 the square root of 5. Okay. Now, therefore, the first solution for x, it's going to be 3 plus 2, the square root of 5. The second solution for x, it's going to be 3 minus 2, the square root of 5. Now, next, we are going to have a consideration of the second option for m. Remember, the first solution for m was 11, and this is what has made us to work all through to get these two solutions for x. Therefore, considering the second option for m as -9. And so remember, we had m2 was -9. Now, instead of writing this m, we are going to replace it back with x squared minus 6x is equals to -9, which is going to be x squared minus 6x plus 9 will be equals to 0. Clearly, this question, it has factors. Now we are going to look at, we can solve this quadratic equation by factorization. So minus 6 as the coefficient of x. Over here, we are going to consider two numbers. When you add, you are going to get -6. When you multiply these two numbers, you are going to get +9. Obviously, the two numbers are -3 and -3. And over here, we have x can be split into, x squared can be split into x multiplied by x. Now, considering the horizontal alignment of these, our solutions are going to be x minus 3 multiplied by x minus 3. So it's actually, this looks like a perfect square, okay? So which means x minus 3 squared is equals to 0. All right, looking for the square root on both sides, we are going to be left with x minus 3 is equals to 0. So the third solution, we have only one solution in this case. The third solution, x is equals to 3. All right. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and you're always invited to check on this channel for the most interesting mathematics question. Have a great time. Bye bye.